Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Miriam Talks About Things. Now, this episode is just sort of to catch up with you on life stuff, of course, on reading, as well as what's going on with uni and stuff like that. So I guess we get the uni and life stuff out of the way. Life is alright. Actually, I'm doing good. I just had some health things that were pretty annoying and kind of scary. I have an upset stomach, or like a pretty upset stomach. Actually, probably a stomach flu or stomach bug for now quite some time. It's not that bad anymore. But on the night from Wednesday to Thursday, I have very bad stomach cramps and I also fainted, which is not fun if you ever experienced that. So I'm just taking things a bit more slowly now, which is kind of annoying because I'm in the middle of final preparations and doing final things for like the essays and works we have to do, but that just means I have to slow down a bit, and that's all right. Health always comes first, and that's very important. But otherwise it's going great. I'm still really enjoying uni. Kind of sad that it's almost done in less than 3 weeks, 2 weeks, probably more than that. But yeah, I'm also excited for the winter break so I can read a lot, and I'm really looking forward to that. But for now, again, I'm in the middle of studying, so I get most of my reading done in the evening because I really want to keep that spot really for like reading and just taking time to read what I'm currently reading. So yeah, again, if you don't know, I am doing advent calendars on my Instagram. So if you are a mutual over there, or if you want to follow me, I think I will post the link in the description. Otherwise, it's always on my profile. If you are interested in seeing what I'm getting in my advent calendars, there's a bookish one as well. So you can go check that out if you like that. It's been an absolute joy. I've been really, really loving the experience, and every single advent calendar we got is just amazing. And the amazing thing is that none of them were full price. As I said before, we sort of really put away money and made ourselves a budget for this season because it's just a tradition we absolutely love. And this year is especially special with how many we were able to get and how awesome they all are. And yes, I've been really enjoying it. And if you're interested in that, just click on the link of my Instagram in my profile, in my YouTube profile. So I think we are now getting into my reading lately and since the last episode. I ended last episode with telling you that I'm reading The Extremely Inconvenient Adventures of Bronte and Mettlestone by Jaclyn Moriarty. I have now finished this book and it's just really, really sweet and absolute joy. I gave it 4.5 stars because if you didn't know, I started to give star ratings again on Goodreads. I will be explaining that a little bit more in my end of the year favorites video, my star ratings and what they mean and stuff. So you can look out for that. But If you don't know, this is the story of Bronte Mettlestone, whose parents were killed by pirates when she's 10 years old. After that, she is sent on an adventure to go and give gifts to her aunts. And yeah, it's just her adventure and what happens and the magic in those kingdoms. She was brought up by her Aunt Isabel because her parents were on this big, massive adventure, and Bronte is just trying to figure everything out and trying to get through that adventure, and maybe things are not always as they seem. I mentioned before that Jaclyn Moriarty is like the author of my teenage years, and that feeling of reading her work now as an adult was really fun, and I really loved the experience. I loved how it dealt with the different stages of grief and how through exploring the different aunts and what they are doing, it was very interesting to sort of get so many different ways of living and different emotions and stories in this book, and it was really, really interesting. I really enjoyed it a lot. Again, gave it 4.5 stars. Then I read a German book called Bin nebenan by Ingrid Lausund, which roughly translates into I'm next door, but there's no German, no English translation of this German short story collection. For more information, I did my first ever episode of Reading the Swiss Germans, since this is a German book written by a German author, and the series is just showcasing books that were originally or solely written in German or by German or Swiss German authors. So if you are interested in that, you can go check out the episode. I will be linking it in the description box. It was a very interesting and varied collection surrounding the theme of home and living and what it means for different humans, different people, different experiences. It was really interesting. It was moving at times. It was touching on very different subjects. But again, if you want to know more, I'll go through every short story in that episode. So I will be linking that one below, and I'm really excited for that series, and I hope you are too. Then I switched to, or like in between that, when I was not feeling that well, I picked up Scarecrone, which is a poetry collection by Melissa Broder. Also I gave Bin nebenan 4 stars. But Scarecrone, the poetry collection by Melissa Broder, I unfortunately gave only 3 stars. That's an average rating for me, but I was a bit disappointed because I thought at the start it was really strong for me, and I thought I was pleasantly surprised by it. But towards the middle and at the end especially, it just sort of started lacking for me. It's definitely in the typical Melissa Broder style. So if you enjoyed So Sad Today or The Pisces, you will enjoy Scarecrow. I don't think that I would recommend it to people who don't really enjoy her work generally. So that's just an average 3-star rating for me. Now, on to my next read, which is just amazing, and I was so surprised by it, and that is 10 Blind Dates by Ashley Elston. Now, the premise for this book is that it's about this girl called Sophie, and she looks forward to her winter break because she gets to spend time with her boyfriend Griffin. Now, Griffin has a little bit of a different idea about that and wants to step away a little bit from that relationship. So, of course, Sophie's heartbroken, and she goes to the home of her nonna, her Italian grandmother, totally heartbroken, and she stays there because her parents actually have to stay with her sister who is pregnant and has some problems with that, so they take care of her. And when she arrives at her nonna's house, her nonna gets the idea of setting her on 10 blind dates, and every family member or most of the family member get to pick one date, and that is of course possible because it's a massive Italian family, and the story sort of takes from there. And when I heard big Italian family, I was already hooked. And it does take place during Christmas and New Year's time, that time of the year, and that's a lovely thing to read about. I was not expecting to love it this much. I think it was a perfect book. There's nothing I would change. There's so much in there that I was not expecting. It was so funny. I laughed out loud so many times. It was very moving. The family dynamics were great. The different themes that were mentioned were very well developed in my opinion, and I really loved it, and I give it 5+ stars. And if you know my rating system, you know that that's the highest you can get from me. So it's definitely an all-time new favorite, and I cannot wait to make it a tradition to reread this book every Christmas season. And I cannot believe I'm saying that. I have a blog post on 10 blind dates, which I will be linking you in the description box. So yeah, what a way to end sort of my recently read books. But what I'm currently reading is We Are Okay by Nina Lacour. This is my first book by her. And strangely enough, because there are snowflakes on the cover and it says winter break, but for some reason I thought it was set in summer, but I was still interested in picking it up now. But it turns out it is also set during winter break. It's about this girl called Maren, and she sort of escaped her home after a tragedy and sort of went to college in New York earlier. She used to live in California with her grandfather. And now, again, during winter break, her best friend Mabel comes to visit, and Maren is sort of forced to face what is unsaid between the two friends and what truly happened and what prompted her to leave so abruptly. It's a very subtle and very quiet novel. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm not entirely sold, but it's good. It's definitely good so far. I really enjoy it. I really like that it's so subtle and quiet. I really enjoy my quiet novels, and it's definitely delivering on that side. I just feel a little bit emotionally detached from the story, but maybe that's the purpose of it all. And still, I've been really enjoying it so far. I'm only on page 76, but I will be definitely continuing my reading right after I finish this episode. Now for what I want to read after that. First, I thought I want to read Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. since, again, it's set into Christmas season, and everyone has been reading it because there's a new movie coming out with Meryl Streep and Emma Watson. But honestly, I've just not been in the mood for a classic, and I'm not really in the mood for the story as well. So instead, I'm going to read Frostheart by Jamie Litter. And I'm really looking forward to that. And it's also wintry, so it does fit the theme. I just thought it was kind of funny how your reading is shaped by different things. For example, if there's a movie coming out, you would like to read the book first, or if everyone is reading that book, you sort of feel like maybe you want to join in, or again, if it fits the season, if there's a specific theme in the book that fits that specific time of the year. I just thought that I find it very interesting, and I would love to know from you if that is something that you consider in your reading, or you just go with the flow. I think I'm somehow in the middle. I think this is my first Christmas season where I'm actually actively trying to read books that fit the theme of the season. So please let me know if that's something you do as well. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's just a little more of a casual one, catching up with things. And yeah, just let me know how your reading has been going, if you have advent calendars, and what are some of your reading plans for the rest of the year. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will talk to you in another one. Thanks for listening. Bye.